These guys deserve a Jeep Wave too. If the Jeep Cherokee were a song, it'd be Gasoline and Matches by Buddy and Julie Miller. This was America's favorite hot hatch. A car, and yes, a car, we'll get into this shortly. The Jeep Cherokee XJ. A Jeep that can do it all. A forerunner for poor people. No, a Land Cruiser for poor people. Not even that. This thing was better than a Land Cruiser. Sorta. With a production run that started in 1984 and ended in the year 2001, the Cherokee was a replacement for the Jeep Wagoneer. Smaller, faster, yet just as capable, if not more. I mean, really, this thing was the original SUV. That's Sport Utility Vehicle. SUV. This thing is a car.
No. It's a truck. It's a truck. Or a Jeep. It's a truck or a Jeep.
This Jeep is a car. Unlike its older counterpart, the Jeep Cherokee featured a unibody construction design, not body on frame. But what exactly does this mean? Well, the Jeep Cherokee XJ isn't truck-based like its predecessor, the Wagoneer was. This means that the underbody of this vehicle actually shares more with a Honda Civic than it does with a truck, or even a Wrangler. And I'm gonna have a lot of people disagree with me on this, but it's true. These things will split in half on the trail if you don't put those frame stiffeners in there, so yeah, I mean,
it's basically like off-roading a Honda Civic.
Minus the solid axles underneath. Hey, relax, we'll talk about those in a second. 1. The Jeep XJ wasn't a Wrangler, but it could still wrangle. Featuring solid axles from the factory, a Dana 30 up front, and most commonly found in the earlier models, a 35 in the rear. The axles were plenty good, but there were even some versions that came with factory, highly desirable Dana 44s in that rear. It's pretty hot, isn't it? I mean, this thing was just jacked. This thing was jacked from factory. I don't know what gears these had, but they were jacked. But even for the weaker axles, this means you could still run a 33-inch tall tire on your XJ without touching the bits underneath. Those sexy Dana axles. Here's my brother's XJ. Proof of the 33 by 12.5 BFG mud terrain concept. The philosophy that all you need is 33s, an XJ, and a dream. You had coil suspension up front and leaf springs in the rear, which in turn gave you a flex-friendly ride, but it still remained predictable, which is cool because, I mean, you could do donuts in your XJ or whatever. Drink more beer. Drink beer off-road and just send it up a ravine. I don't know. Drink 1 million beers and send your XJ off a jump. I'm not advising that you do this, but there's people that do this and it looks like fun. Again, don't do this. I am not giving you financial advice right here. For brakes, well, you had the sweet old option of disc fronts and drum rears, like most cars. Although there was a disc brake conversion that you can do if you wanted it, or if you want it, I mean, if you own one of these things, you can swap the rear disc brakes onto the XJ from a more modern Jeep ZJ, and this is a pretty common swap, though it doesn't look that fun to do. Although they say it's pretty easy. I don't know. You guys be the judge of that one. Hold on, let me change the song here. For engine options, you had options, man. There was a 2.5 AMC inline 4, the 2.5 VM turbo diesel, the 2.1 Renault turbo diesel, the 2.8 GM V6, and finally, that good old 4.0 AMC 242 inline 6. This was the one you wanted. Sitting at around 180 horsepower, the 4.0 was extremely reliable. With that heavy-ass cast iron block, you also got heavy-ass low-end torque. And that delivery was smooth. I mean, somewhat. Unlike those pesky V6s, those suck ass. Sorry guys. Earlier versions of these engines were almost perfect, But they did have issues. They were prone to overheating, and they were often faced with a plethora of electrical issues. However, most of these problems would be resolved with the facelift version of the Cherokee, which would release in 1997. Transmissions. You had the option of a 4-speed Aisin automatic or the AX-15. This was a 5-speed manual that was also produced by Aisin. And for the 4-bangers, well, you got an AX-5. These were reportedly not as strong as the AX-15s, which means that instead of owning a Jeep Cherokee, you now owned a Subaru. This was if you had a 4-banger. But I mean, it makes sense. I'm not going to put a big old transmission on that little tiny peanut, that 2.5 liter. They also made some auto 3-speeds designed by Chrysler, but you really don't want those. Trust me. Shit sounds horrible. Interiors. You got grays, blacks, tans, maroons, beiges, and blacks. Wait, did I say blacks? Depending on the trim level, your XJ would come with cloth, vinyl, or even leather seats. The first gen being boxier on the inside, whilst the facelift got a copy and paste interior from the Jeep TJ, or the Wrangler at the time. But what about the rear? Well, you got a folding bench seat in the rear. A 60-40 split. This left the rear cargo space level and open. A perfect platform. The perfect camper. Just make sure you sleep on your side back there. The headliners sucked on these cars. You don't want to be breathing that crusty ass headliner in, man. Leave that to the birds, man. That don't smell good. But let's move on to the styling, the overall aesthetics of this car. Everyone says this about older cars, but this one can quite literally say that it is shaped like a f***ing brick. Still looks cool though. And you had a variety of colors to choose from. This one's my favorite. In all of its run, they produced more than 2.5 million XJs. So naturally, the aftermarket support for these sporty wagons is pretty extensive. I'm talking tons of bolt-ons, gears, lockers, roof racks, frickin' snorkel kits that you can order off of Amazon. They have everything on there. Thanks, Bezos. But seriously, you could build one of these on a budget, or you could invest in quality parts and be king of the hill. Regardless of what you decide to do with your XJ though, these things will absolutely rip no matter what. In my opinion, and this is my opinion now, the XJ is a damn near perfect car. They're fun, they can take you places, you can do sick jumps in them. They have no problem keeping up with modern traffic, if you do have an inline 6, of course. They look cool, you can daily these things. I daily one of these things, and I can't wait to continue to build it further. So let's talk about builds. Common builds for these cars include rock crawlers, overlanders, Baja builds, drift builds. What? You can drift these? There's a guy named Adam from Overland History, and he has a frickin' sweet Overlander. I absolutely obsess and drool over this car. It's red. It has little stock steelies. I believe it's on 33s as well. Just gorgeous. Look at it. Are you seeing it? I love this guy's car. So how would I build one? Or rather, what are my plans with my XJ? Well, I have a white 1997 two-wheel drive Country Limited. Yeah, I know, pretty pointless of building it. It's a two-wheel drive. It's still capable though. And hear me out. It's still capable though, okay? It's still... Wait. I know what you're saying. Oh, it's a two-wheel drive. Your car sucks, dude. Lock in. I need me one of those stickers for my car that says, "You can go fast, but I can go anywhere." Because I have a Jeep. Because I have a Jeep. Don't clown on me for this, but I added a small little light bar to the hood of my XJ, and it looks cool, so don't be a hater. It also works, it's functional. I've gone ahead and removed the fender flares, so I have more articulation off-road, and yes, I do off-road this thing. The car now has some Yakima roof racks that I got off of OfferUp, and besides basic maintenance, I threw on a hot air intake. Yeah, one of these things. And honestly, it actually does function pretty dang well. It's not just placebo. It's not just placebo. It's not placebo. I've had other cars, and you can actually tell the difference. This car feels faster. I can race Nora 400 now. I just need a roll cage. And E85. I need to go E85 on the 4.0, and I'm gonna build a stroker. I'm gonna make it a 4.7. Haven't gotten around to it yet, but I am planning on doing a 2-inch lift on my Cherokee, along with some 31-inch all-terrains. It is a 2-wheel drive after all, so it wouldn't make sense to go any taller than that, at least in my opinion. Recovery points and a much needed headliner replacement will most likely complete the build for me. Because honestly, I'm happy as it sits, and it's rare for me to say that about a car. Usually I'm like, oh, this thing sucks, this thing is slow, I love this car, but I also hate this car, but this car for me is like just a great relationship. Like, I have no complaints. So what are your thoughts on the Jeep XJ? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm gonna be replying to everyone. I mean, I'm gonna try to. I don't know how many comments this video is gonna get, but if it gets a reasonable amount, I'm gonna reply to your comment with a comment. So comment on this video. Yeah, that's it. See ya.
Not a real Jeep. It's not a real Jeep. You'll get a Jeep Wave.